I'm halfway down the marble staircase with my suitcase bouncing against my thigh when I hear the question that stops me cold. "Papa, where is Sloane going?" Juliana's voice is small and clear in the cavernous foyer, cutting through the low murmur of guards stationed near the front doors. I freeze on the landing, my free hand gripping the polished brass railing hard enough that my knuckles go white. My pulse hammers in my throat. Behind me, above me, I can feel the weight of Tiziano Greco's gaze like a hand pressed to the back of my neck. I shouldn't stop. I should keep walking. That's what you do when you're fired by a man whose name makes seasoned detectives nervous. You take your severance check, you sign the NDA, and you disappear before he changes his mind about letting you leave alive. But Gia's voice does something to me that fear can't override. It cracks through my self-preservation like a hammer through glass. I turn my head just enough to see them at the top of the grand staircase. Gia is still in her pale pink pajamas, barefoot, her dark curls sleep-tangled. She's clutching the stuffed rabbit I gave her 2 months ago, Mr. Flopsy, she named him, and her enormous brown eyes are fixed on me with the kind of confusion that twists my chest into knots. Tiziano stands beside her, one hand resting on her small shoulder. He's dressed for the day already, charcoal suit, crisp white shirt open at the collar, no tie yet. His jaw is tight, his expression unreadable in that way, powerful men perfect when they don't want you to know they feel anything at all. He doesn't answer her. Gia takes a step forward. "Papa." I watch his hand tighten on her shoulder, not rough, just firm, keeping her in place. "Juliana," he says quietly, "go back to your room." "But Sloane." "Now." His voice doesn't rise. That's the worst part. Tiziano Greco doesn't need volume to make you obey. He has the kind of authority that sinks into your bones, the kind you feel in your chest before your brain processes the words. Gia's face crumples. She looks at me again, and I see it. The betrayal, the hurt, the disbelief that I would leave without saying goodbye. My throat closes. I want to tell her it's not my choice, that I didn't do what her father thinks I did, that I would never, never betray her trust. But my voice is trapped somewhere beneath the fear and rage and exhaustion that have been building since Tiziano summoned me to his office at dawn and told me, no, informed me, that I was dismissed. "Effective immediately," he'd said, sliding an envelope across his desk. "Your belongings will be packed. A car will take you wherever you need to go." I'd been too stunned to argue, too stunned to ask why. Now I know why. I heard the whispers from the staff as I packed. Someone told him I was passing information to a rival family. Someone lied, and he believed them without asking me a single question. And now I'm being erased. Gia's small voice cuts through my thoughts again. Why is she leaving? Tiziano doesn't look at me. He keeps his eyes on his daughter, and when he speaks, his tone is softer, but no less final. Because I said so. It's the answer of a man who's used to his word being law. But it's not enough for Gia. "That's not a reason," she says, and her voice wobbles. "You're supposed to have reasons, Papa. You told me that. You said people who make rules without reasons are... She struggles for the word. "Tyrants," I whisper before I can stop myself. Tiziano's gaze snaps to me. The air between us turns cold and sharp. I shouldn't have spoken. I know I shouldn't have, but I'm so damn tired of being silent, of swallowing injustice because the alternative is worse. His eyes are dark, not quite black, more like espresso under low light, and right now they're fixed on me with an intensity that makes my stomach drop. "Miss Bennett," he says, and my last name in his mouth sounds like a verdict. "Leave." I should, but Gia pulls free from his grip and runs down 3 steps, her small bare feet slapping marble. "Sloane, don't go, please!" My heart fractures. I drop my suitcase. It tumbles down 2 steps before landing with a heavy thud. I don't care. I crouch on the landing, meeting Gia at eye level even though 15 feet still separate us. "Gia, baby!" "Don't." Tiziano's voice is low, dangerous. A warning. I ignore him. I ignore every instinct screaming at me to obey. Because this little girl deserves more than silence. I have to go. I tell her, and my voice cracks. But it's not because of you. You didn't do anything wrong. Then why? Tears spill over her round cheeks. Did I make you sad? No. No, sweetheart. You made me happy. Every single day. Then stay. She's sobbing now, and it's the kind of crying that comes from a child who's lost too much already. Her mother died 2 years ago. I'm just another person disappearing from her life. I feel Tiziano moving before I see him. He descends the stairs with the controlled grace of a predator, and suddenly he's between us, a wall of expensive fabric and coiled violence. Enough, he says, and this time there's an edge of something raw beneath the command. Anger, maybe, or guilt. He scoops Gia into his arms. She fights him, little fists pounding his chest, and the sound of her wailing echoes through the foyer like an alarm. I hate you, she screams at him. I hate you, Papa. Tiziano doesn't flinch. He just holds her, one hand cradling the back of her head, and carries her up the stairs. But before he disappears down the hallway, he stops, turns, looks at me over his shoulder. And for one impossible second, I see something flicker in his expression. Doubt, regret, something almost human. Then it's gone. Aurelio will drive you, he says. Don't come back. He walks away, and I stand there on the landing, shaking, listening to Gia's sobs fade into the depths of the house, knowing I just made everything worse by caring. 3 months earlier, the Greco estate looks like something out of a European postcard. Sprawling stone architecture, manicured gardens, wrought iron gates that probably cost more than my student loans. I sit in the back of the town car, clutching my folder of references and certifications, trying not to let my nerves show. I've worked for wealthy families before, executives, celebrities, even a minor royal once during a summer in London. But this is different. Tiziano Greco isn't just wealthy. He's powerful in a way that doesn't show up on Forbes lists, the kind of power that makes people lower their voices when they say his name. The agency warned me. He's very private, very particular. Don't ask questions, don't gossip. And for God's sake, don't cross him. The car stops at the front entrance. A man in a dark suit opens my door. Polite, silent, watchful. Security, clearly. Inside, the house is even more intimidating. High ceilings, marble floors, art that looks like it belongs in a museum. Everything is pristine, cold, perfectly controlled. A woman in her 50s meets me in the foyer. Miss Bennett, I'm Signora Lena, the house manager. Follow me. She leads me through a series of hallways to a study lined with books and dark wood. Behind an enormous desk sits Tiziano Greco. He doesn't stand when I enter, doesn't smile. He's younger than I expected, late 30s maybe, with the kind of face that would be handsome if it weren't so severe. Sharp jaw, high cheekbones, dark hair swept back. His eyes assess me the way a jeweler examines a stone, looking for flaws. Sit, he says. I sit. He opens my folder, scans the first page. Yale, early childhood development, 5 years experience, glowing references. His gaze lifts. Why do you want to work here? It's a test. I can feel it. I want to work with children who need stability, I say carefully. Your daughter lost her mother. That kind of grief doesn't go away just because time passes. She needs someone consistent, someone who won't leave. His expression doesn't change, but something flickers in his eyes. And you think you're that person? I think I'm good at what I do, I reply. And I think Juliana deserves someone who sees her as more than a job. Silence. He leans back in his chair, still watching me. You'll live on the estate. No days off for the first month. I need to see how she adjusts. You'll follow my rules. You won't ask questions. You won't speak to anyone outside this house about my family. If you break my trust, you'll regret it. It should scare me. It does scare me. But I nod. Understood. Good. He closes the folder. You start today. I blink. Today? My daughter's 4th nanny quit yesterday. She's been alone too much. That changes now. There's something almost vulnerable in the way he says alone. like he hates admitting it. I stand. Can I meet her? Tiziano rises, buttons his suit jacket, and gestures for me to follow. We walk upstairs to a bright, beautiful room filled with toys and books and drawings taped to the walls. In the center of it all sits a tiny girl with dark curls and her father's serious eyes. She looks up when we enter, doesn't smile. Juliana, Tiziano says, his voice softer now, this is Miss Sloane. She's going to take care of you. Gia stares at me. Like Mama did? The room goes very still. Tiziano's jaw tightens. No, he says quietly. Not like Mama. Gia's face falls. I kneel in front of her, meeting her at eye level. No one can replace your Mama, I say gently. But I can be your friend, if you want. She considers this. Do you like tea parties? I smile. I love tea parties. Okay. She nods, serious. You can stay. And just like that, I'm in. Present day, 30 minutes after the firing. I'm in the back of the black sedan, staring out the window as the estate gates close behind us, when my phone buzzes. Unknown number. I answer without thinking. Hello? Miss Bennett. The voice is smooth, male, unfamiliar. You don't know me, but I know you. My blood goes cold. Who is this? Someone who wants to help you. Help me? You were just fired, accused of selling information, but you didn't do it, did you? My pulse spikes. How do you? Because I framed you. I can't breathe. The voice continues, calm, almost apologetic. Nothing personal, but I needed you out of that house. You were in the way. In the way of what? A pause. That's not your concern anymore. But here's some advice. Don't try to prove your innocence. Don't go back. If you do, you'll only make things worse for the little girl. The call ends. I sit there shaking, the phone still pressed to my ear. Someone set me up. Someone inside that house wants me gone. And Gia's caught in the middle, that evening. My apartment. I'm unpacking my suitcase when someone knocks on my door. Not a polite knock. A sharp, commanding knock. I freeze. My apartment is supposed to be private. No one from the Greco estate should know where I live. I check the peephole. Tiziano Greco stands in my hallway. My heart slams into my ribs. I open the door a crack. What are you doing here? His eyes are darker than I remember, shadowed with something I can't name. We need to talk. You fired me. I know. Then we have nothing to... Juliana won't eat, won't sleep. She's asked for you 17 times since you left. The number, so specific, so raw, hits me like a fist. I open the door. He steps inside, and my small apartment shrinks instantly. He's too big for this space, too commanding, and I hate that even now, even after everything, my body reacts to his presence. Why are you here? I ask. He doesn't answer right away. Instead, he looks around, at my secondhand furniture, my stack of library books, the framed photo of me and my sister on the shelf. You live alone, he says. Yes. No boyfriend, no family nearby. Are you interrogating me again? His gaze snaps to mine. I'm trying to understand you. Why? Because I made a mistake. The words are so quiet I almost miss them. I stare. What? Tiziano moves closer and I smell him now, sandalwood and something darker, like smoke. Someone told me you were leaking information. I believed them. I didn't verify it. I didn't ask you. My chest tightens. So you're here to apologize? I'm here to offer you your job back. I laugh, sharp, bitter. You think I'd come back after you humiliated me? I think, he says, voice low, that you care about my daughter more than you care about your pride. He's right. God, he's right, and I hate him for it. She needs you, he continues. I can't. He stops, jaw working. I can't give her what you give her. Love, I say, and it comes out harsher than I intend. You can't give her love? His eyes flash. I give her everything. Everything but yourself. The air crackles. Tiziano takes another step, and now we're too close. I can see the faint scar above his eyebrow, the tension in his shoulders, the way his hands curl into fists at his sides like he's fighting the urge to reach for me. "You don't know me," he says. "I know you fired me without asking if it was true." "I know." His voice drops. "And I'm asking now. Did you do it?" I meet his eyes. "No." He studies me for a long, agonizing moment. Then he nods. "I believe you." "Why?" "Because Juliana trusts you, and she's a better judge of people than I am." Something in my chest cracks. "Come back," he says. "Please." I've never heard him say please before. I should say no. I should protect myself. But Gia's crying face flashes through my mind. "Fine," I whisper. "But I have conditions." His eyebrow lifts. "You're negotiating with me?" "Yes." A slow, dangerous smile curves his mouth. "Tell me." 2 weeks later, late night in Gia's room. Gia has a nightmare. I hear her crying through the baby monitor, and I'm in her room in seconds, pulling her into my arms, whispering that she's safe, that I'm here. She clings to me, sobbing. "Mama was leaving again. I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't stay." My heart breaks. It was just a dream, baby. But it felt real. I rock her gently. "I know." The door opens. Tiziano stands in the threshold, barefoot, wearing only sleep pants. His hair is disheveled, his chest bare, and for a moment I forget how to breathe. "Is she okay?" he asks, voice rough with sleep. "Nightmare," I say quietly. He moves into the room, crouches beside us. "Juliana." She turns, buries her face in his shoulder. He wraps his arms around her, and the tenderness in the gesture undoes me. "You're safe, Piccola," he murmurs. "Always." "Promise," she whispers. "I promise." She falls back asleep between us, one small hand clutching my shirt, the other gripping her father's. Tiziano's eyes meet mine over her head. In the dim light, he looks younger, tired, human. "Thank you," he says. "For what?" "For coming back." I swallow. "I didn't do it for you." "I know." A pause. "But I'm grateful anyway." We sit there in silence, the three of us tangled together, and for the first time since I entered this house, I feel like I belong. 3 days later, the garden. Gia and I are picking flowers when I hear the shout. "Get down!" Tiziano's voice, sharp, commanding. I grab Gia and drop to the ground just as gunfire erupts. Everything happens in seconds. Tiziano hauling us behind a stone wall, his body covering ours, the sound of bullets hitting marble, guards returning fire. "Stay down," he orders, his weight pressing me into the grass. I can't breathe, not from fear, from the solid wall of him against my back, the heat of him, the way his hand cups the back of my head like I'm something precious. The shooting stops. "Clear!" someone shouts. Tiziano doesn't move immediately. His breath is hot against my ear. "Are you hurt?" "No." "Juliana?" "I'm okay, Papa," Gia says, her voice small. He finally pulls back, his hands running over both of us, checking for injuries. His eyes are wild, frantic in a way I've never seen. "Who was that?" I demand. "Rival family," he says shortly. "Inside. Now." He lifts Gia into his arms and grabs my wrist, pulling me toward the house. Once inside, he hands Gia to a guard. "Take her upstairs. Lock the door." "Papa." "Now, Juliana." She goes. Tiziano rounds on me. "This is why I didn't want attachments. This is what happens." "I'm fine." "You could have died." His hands grip my shoulders too tight. "Do you understand? You could have died because you're connected to me. But I didn't. This time." His voice cracks. "Next time, there won't be a next time." "You don't know that." He's shaking now. "You don't know." I reach up, cup his face. "Then protect us." His eyes close. "I'm trying." That night, his private study, he brings me wine, pours 2 glasses. "You should leave," he says. "I'm not leaving Gia." "Then you're a fool." "Maybe." He drinks, watching me over the rim. "Why do you care so much?" "Because she deserves it." And me? His voice is low. Do I deserve it? I hesitate. I don't know. He laughs, bitter, rough, honest. You want me to lie? I want. He stops, sets down his glass. I want things I can't have. The air thickens. Like what? I whisper. He crosses to me, slowly, deliberately. Like you. My breath catches. His hand lifts, hovers near my face. Tell me to stop. I should, but I don't. His fingers brush my jaw, featherlight, testing. Sloane. My name is a rasp, a prayer. I tilt my face up. Our mouths are inches apart. This is a bad idea, I breathe. I know. You're my employer. I know. This could ruin everything. I know. He leans in. The door opens. Boss? Shit. Sorry. Aurelio freezes in the doorway. Tiziano steps back, jaw tight. What? The men you wanted, they're here. Tiziano's mask slams back into place. I'll be there. Aurelio leaves. Tiziano looks at me, conflict written in every line of his body. We can't. I know, I whisper. He leaves. I stand there, heart racing, wondering what the hell I'm doing. The next day, Gia's birthday party. She's laughing, surrounded by friends, and I'm watching from the side when Tiziano appears beside me. She's happy, he says. She is. A pause. Because of you. I glance at him. Because she has people who love her. She has you. And you. He looks at me, something raw in his eyes. I don't know how to do this. Do what? Feel. He swallows. I've spent years shutting it down. It's safer that way. Safer for who? Everyone. He turns to face me fully. But then you walked into my house and reminded me what I've been missing. My throat tightens. I'm not a good man, Sloane. I know. I've done things. I know. Then why are you still here? I meet his eyes. Because Gia needs me, and because... I take a breath. Because I think you do too. His hand finds mine. Squeezes. I don't deserve you, he whispers. Probably not. He almost smiles. That night, someone leaves a note on my pillow. He'll never choose you. Leave before you become collateral. My blood runs cold. I show Tiziano. His face goes dark. Pack your things. What? You're moving into the main house, near my room, where I can protect you. Tiziano, this isn't a request. 3 days later, Gia runs up to me at breakfast, eyes shining. Sloane, Papa said we're going to the lake house, all of us. I glance at Tiziano. He's watching me, something unreadable in his expression. All of us? I repeat. Like a family, Gia says. My heart stutters. Tiziano stands, crosses to me, leans down, whispers in my ear. Say yes, please. I look up at him. This dangerous, complicated, infuriating man who's somehow become everything I shouldn't want. Yes, I breathe. He smiles. Really smiles. But as we drive away from the estate, I see it in the rearview mirror. A black car following us. And I realize the threat isn't over. It's just beginning. The black car doesn't break off when we turn onto the highway. It maintains the same distance, 3 car lengths back, never closer, never farther. Professional, deliberate. I watch it in the side mirror, my pulse climbing with each passing mile. Tiziano notices. Of course he does. He notices everything. Massimo, he says quietly into his phone. Eyes on the road. We have a tail. Black Mercedes, 2 occupants. Run the plates. Beside me in the back seat, Gia hums to herself, coloring in her book, blissfully unaware that the air in this car just turned sharp enough to cut. I force my breathing to stay even, force my hands not to shake, because if I panic, Gia will sense it, and she's already been through too much fear in her short life. Tiziano's gaze flicks to the rearview mirror, meets mine. There's a question in his eyes. Are you going to brake? I lift my chin. Try me. Something shifts in his expression. Approval, maybe, or respect. He disconnects the call and adjusts his grip on the steering wheel. Change of plans, he says, calm as if we're discussing dinner reservations. We're not going to the lake house. Why not? Gia looks up from her coloring, lower lip jutting out. You promised, Papa. I know, Piccola. His voice softens in that way it only does for her. But something came up. We'll go next weekend instead. But, Juliana. The name is gentle but firm. Trust me. She sighs dramatically but returns to her coloring. Okay. I mouth at Tiziano. Where are we going? His eyes hold mine in the mirror. Somewhere safe. That should reassure me. It doesn't. Because in Tiziano, Greco's world, safe is a relative term. It means armed guards and reinforced doors and contingency plans for when everything goes to hell. We drive for another 40 minutes, the black Mercedes never wavering. Tiziano makes 3 more calls, all in rapid Italian, all too quiet for me to catch more than a few words. But I hear the tone. Controlled, strategic, deadly. Finally, we turn off the main road onto a private drive that winds through dense forest. The trees close in on either side, thick enough to block out most of the afternoon sun. The pavement gives way to gravel, then to packed dirt. The black car follows. My hands curl into fists in my lap. Tiziano's jaw tightens. When we stop, he says, you take Juliana and go inside. Don't look back. Don't wait for me. What are you going to do? His eyes meet mine again, and this time there's no softness in them, only cold, calculated violence. My job. The car pulls up in front of a stone hunting lodge, rustic but elegant, windows shuttered, surrounded by nothing but forest and silence. 3 men in dark suits emerge from the shadows near the entrance, armed, alert. Tiziano parks and turns to face me fully. Sloane, do you trust me? It's the first time he's asked me that directly, the first time he's given me a choice. I think about Gia's laughter, about the way Tiziano held us during the gunfire, about the vulnerability I saw in his eyes when he confessed he didn't know how to feel. Yes, I whisper. He nods once, satisfied. Then he gets out. I unbuckle Gia, lift her into my arms even though she's getting too big for it. She wraps her legs around my waist and rests her head on my shoulder. I'm tired, Sloane. I know, baby. Let's get you inside. One of the guards, a massive man with a scar bisecting his left eyebrow, opens the lodge door for us. Signora, he says respectfully. This way. I don't correct him. Don't tell him I'm not Tiziano's wife, not his partner, just the nanny, because right now, in this moment, the distinction doesn't seem to matter. Inside, the lodge is warm and surprisingly cozy. Exposed beams, a stone fireplace, leather furniture that looks broken in and comfortable. Someone's already lit a fire. Someone's already stocked the kitchen. Tiziano thinks of everything. The guard gestures to a hallway. Bedrooms are upstairs. Don Greco said the child should rest. Thank you. I carry Gia up the narrow staircase to a small room with a 4-poster bed and quilts piled high. She's already half asleep by the time I lay her down. Sloane? She murmurs, eyes fluttering. Is Papa mad at me? My chest constricts. No, sweetheart, he's not mad. He just wants to keep us safe. From the bad men? I smooth her hair back from her forehead, the way my own mother used to do for me. Yes. Papa's stronger than them, she says with absolute certainty. He'll win. I wish I had her faith, her innocence. Sleep now, I whisper. She's out in seconds. I stand there for a long moment, watching her chest rise and fall, trying to slow my racing heart. Then I hear it. Raised voices outside. Tiziano's, sharp and commanding, and another voice, unfamiliar, mocking. I move to the window, careful to stay hidden behind the curtain. The black Mercedes is parked beside Tiziano's car. 2 men stand in front of it, both armed, both dressed in expensive suits that scream organized crime. Tiziano faces them, flanked by his guards, hands loose at his sides in the deceptive calm of a man who knows exactly how fast he can draw a weapon. I can't hear what they're saying, but I can read body language. The shorter man is doing most of the talking, gesturing sharply, smiling in a way that sets my teeth on edge. The taller one just watches, cold and still. Tiziano says something. The shorter man laughs. Then Tiziano moves. It happens so fast I almost miss it. One moment he's standing still, the next his fist connects with the shorter man's jaw. The man drops like a stone. The taller one reaches for his gun but doesn't even clear the holster before Tiziano has him on his knees, arm wrenched behind his back at an angle that makes me wince. Tiziano leans down, says something in the man's ear. The man goes pale. Then Tiziano releases him, steps back, adjusts his cuffs like he's just finished a business meeting. The two men scramble back into their car. It peels out, spraying gravel. Tiziano watches until they're gone. Then he turns, looks directly at the window where I'm standing. Our eyes lock. He knows I saw. He doesn't look away. And neither do I. He comes inside 10 minutes later, alone. His guards have taken up positions around the perimeter of the lodge, close enough to respond, far enough to give us privacy. I'm in the kitchen, making tea I don't want, just to give my hands something to do. Tiziano stops in the doorway. There's a spot of blood on his collar. Not his, I don't think. His knuckles are raw. "Is she asleep?" he asks. I nod. Good. He crosses to the sink, runs cold water over his hands. I watch the blood swirl down the drain, pink and accusing. "Who were they?" I ask quietly. "Messengers." "From?" He dries his hands, turns to face me. "A man who thinks he can take what's mine." The possessiveness in his voice sends a shiver down my spine. What does he want? Territory, money, power. Tiziano's eyes darken. "You." The word lands like a stone in my stomach. "Me?" "Not you specifically, but you're close to me. That makes you valuable. Leverage." He moves closer, and I can smell the cold air still clinging to his jacket, the faint metallic scent of violence. He knows I protect what's mine. "I'm not yours," I say, but it comes out weaker than I intend. Tiziano stops inches away. "Aren't you?" My breath catches. Because the truth is, I don't know what I am anymore. Employee? Caretaker? Something more dangerous and undefined? "You saw what I did out there," he says. "Yes." "Does it scare you?" I should lie. Should tell him yes? It terrifies me. I'm already planning my escape, but I'm so tired of lying. Tired of pretending I don't see the darkness in him and recognize it as something almost familiar. "No," I admit. His eyes search mine. "Why not?" "Because you were protecting us." I swallow. "Because I know the difference between violence that takes and violence that defends." Something flickers across his face, surprise maybe, or relief. "Most people don't make that distinction." "I'm not most people." "No," he agrees softly. "You're not." The air between us thickens, charged with everything we're not saying. "Sloane." He lifts his hand, hesitates. "I need you to understand something." "What?" "This life, my life, it's dangerous, unpredictable. People I care about become targets." His jaw works. "I can't promise you safety. I can only promise I'll fight like hell to keep you alive. And if that's not enough, then I'll die trying." The words are so raw, so honest, they steal the breath from my lungs. I reach up, take his injured hand in mine. His knuckles are swollen, split in places. I trace the damage gently. "You need ice." "I need you to answer a question." I look up. "What question?" His free hand cups my face, thumb brushing my cheekbone. "Why did you really come back, after I fired you?" "I told you, for Gia." "That's not the whole truth." His eyes bore into mine. "Tell me." My heart hammers, because the truth is complicated, messy, dangerous. I came back because... I take a shaky breath. Because when you asked me to, I realized leaving would hurt more than staying. His thumb stills. "Even knowing what I am? Even knowing. Even knowing I'll ruin you? You won't. Sloane. You won't," I repeat, firmer now, "because I won't let you." For a long moment he just stares at me. Then, slowly, a smile curves his mouth, real and unguarded and devastating. "Dio," he murmurs, "you're going to destroy me." "Good," I whisper. He laughs, low and rough, and the sound goes straight through me. Then his phone buzzes. The moment shatters. He pulls it out, reads the screen, and his expression shudders. I have to make a call. "Is everything—" "It's fine." But the tension in his shoulders says otherwise. "Stay inside. Lock the doors. I'll be back in 20 minutes. He leaves before I can argue. I stand there in the kitchen, heart still racing, trying to process what just happened. Did I just confess feelings for a Mafia Don? Did he just confess feelings back? And why does the idea of that terrify and exhilarate me in equal measure? I'm sitting by the fire an hour later when I hear small footsteps on the stairs. Gia appears, dragging Mr. Flopsy behind her, hair sticking up on one side. I had another bad dream. I open my arms and she climbs into my lap, all warm and sleep-soft. "You're safe, baby. I promise." She's quiet for a minute then. "Sloan? Do you love my papa?" I freeze. "What?" She tilts her head to look up at me, eyes too wise for 6 years old. "Do you love him, like Mama did?" My throat closes. "Gia, It's okay if you do," she says matter-of-factly. "He needs someone. He's sad a lot, but he smiles more when you're here." I don't know what to say to that. How do you explain adult feelings to a child when you barely understand them yourself? "Your papa is complicated," I manage. "That means yes." She snuggles deeper into my arms. "Good, then you can stay forever." "It's not that simple, sweetheart." "Why not?" "Because grown-up things are messy." She considers this. "Mama used to say that loving papa was like holding fire. It hurts, but you can't let go." The words hit me like a punch. "She said that?" Gia nods. I didn't understand then, but I think I do now. She looks up at me with those enormous brown eyes. "You're holding fire too, aren't you?" Out of the mouths of babes. "Yeah," I whisper. "I think I am." "Don't let go," she says, "even if it hurts. Promise?" I press a kiss to the top of her head, tears burning behind my eyes. "I promise." After I put Gia back to bed, I find Tiziano outside on the lodge's back porch, staring into the dark forest. He's traded his suit jacket for a simple black sweater, and he looks younger somehow, less untouchable. "Couldn't sleep?" I ask softly. He doesn't turn. Never can after a confrontation. I step beside him, wrapping my cardigan tighter against the cold. The stars are brilliant out here, away from city lights. "What happened on that call?" "A complication." "Tiziano." He glances at me. "You're using my first name now. Should I stop?" "No." His voice roughens. "I like hearing it from you." The admission hangs between us. "The man who sent those messengers," he continues, "is someone I used to work with. We had an agreement. He broke it." "What kind of agreement?" "The kind where everyone stays in their territory and no one gets hurt." His hands grip the porch railing. "But he's ambitious, reckless. He sees weakness and he exploits it." "What weakness?" Tiziano turns to face me fully. "You, Juliana. Caring about anything makes you vulnerable in this world." "So what are you going to do? Stop caring?" "I should, but you won't." His eyes search mine. "No, I won't." "Because?" He reaches out, tucks a strand of hair behind my ear. His fingers linger against my skin. "Because for the first time in years, I feel like I'm living instead of just surviving." My heart stutters. "Tiziano." "I know it's selfish," he continues. "I know I should send you away. Put you somewhere he can't reach you. But the thought of you leaving—" His voice cracks. "I can't do it, Sloan. I can't let you go." I step closer, close enough that our breath mingles in the cold air. "Then don't. You don't know what you're agreeing to." "I know enough." "Do you?" His hand slides to the back of my neck, grip firm. Do you know that men like me don't get happy endings? That everyone I've ever loved has been taken from me? I'm still here, I whisper. For now. Stop. I press my palm against his chest, feel his heart racing beneath layers of wool and muscle. Stop deciding my future for me. I'm not some fragile thing that needs protecting from herself. His eyes flash. Then what do you need? You, I breathe. I need you to stop holding back. Something in him breaks. His mouth crashes against mine, desperate, consuming, a kiss that tastes like fear and hunger and the edge of something that might be love. I gasp and he takes advantage, deepening the kiss until I'm dizzy with it, clinging to his sweater just to stay upright. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. This is a mistake, he says roughly. I know. We can't. I know. Sloan. I kiss him again, softer this time. A promise instead of a demand. I know all of it, and I'm choosing this anyway. He rests his forehead against mine, eyes closed. You're going to ruin me, Bellissima. You already said that. Because it's true. I smile against his mouth. Good. I wake to the smell of coffee and the sound of Gia's laughter. For a moment, I forget where I am. Then it comes back. The lodge, the danger, the kiss that changed everything. I find them in the kitchen. Tiziano at the stove making pancakes while Gia sits on the counter, stealing chocolate chips from the bowl. It's so domestic, so normal, that my chest aches. Tiziano looks up when I enter. Our eyes meet and the memory of last night hangs between us like smoke. Morning, he says, voice carefully neutral. Morning. Gia beams. Papa's making pancakes with chocolate chips and blueberries. Lucky us, I manage. We eat together at the small wooden table, Gia chattering about the squirrel she saw outside her window, Tiziano listening with the kind of focused attention he gives everything. His knee brushes mine under the table. Once, twice. The third time I'm certain it's deliberate. I glance at him. He's looking at his daughter, but there's the ghost of a smile on his lips. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. I answer without thinking. Hello? Heavy breathing. Then, you should have left when you had the chance. My blood turns to ice. Who is this? Someone who's going to teach Tiziano Greco what happens when he breaks his word. A pause. Starting with you. The call ends. Tiziano is beside me instantly, taking the phone from my shaking hands. What did they say? I can't speak. Can't breathe. He pulls up the call log, dials a number. Trace this, now. Then to me. Sloan, look at me. I do. His eyes are dark with fury and something else. Fear. What did they say? He repeats. They said, I swallow. They said they're going to teach you a lesson, starting with me. Gia looks between us, confused. Papa? What's wrong? Tiziano's jaw clenches. Then he lifts Gia from her chair, sets her on her feet. Go pack your things, Piccola. We're leaving. But now, Juliana. She runs. Tiziano turns to me, grips my shoulders. Listen to me. We're going somewhere they can't find us, somewhere off the grid. But I need you to trust me completely. Can you do that? Yes. Yes. Even if it means disappearing? Leaving your old life behind? The question should terrify me. Instead, I feel strangely calm, because my old life was half-lived, full of caution and compromise. This, messy and dangerous as it is, feels real. Yes, I repeat. He pulls me against him, holds me so tight I can barely breathe. I won't let them touch you, he murmurs into my hair. I swear it. I know, but even as I say it, I feel the weight of what's coming. This isn't over, it's just beginning. We're in the car 20 minutes later, a different vehicle, nondescript, designed not to be noticed. Massimo is driving. 2 other guards follow in a second car. Gia is asleep in her car seat, exhausted by the sudden upheaval. Tiziano holds my hand in the darkness of the back seat. His thumb traces circles on my palm, a gesture so tender it makes my throat tight. Where are we going? I ask quietly. A place I bought years ago, under a different name, No one knows about it except Massimo and Aurelio. For emergencies? For this. He looks at me. For when I finally found something worth protecting more than my empire. The words steal my breath. Tiziano, I love you. He says it simply, like it's the most obvious thing in the world. I've known it since you walked into Obsidian's stall without fear, since you stood on that staircase and called me a tyrant, since you came back even though I didn't deserve it. Tears burn my eyes. You can't just, I can, and I am. He cups my face. I love you, Sloane Bennett, and I'm done pretending I don't. This is insane, I whisper. I know. We barely know each other. I know. Your world is going to destroy us. I know. He leans closer. Say it anyway. Even if you're lying. Even if you'll take it back tomorrow. I need to hear it once. I think about Gia's words. Holding fire. I think about the way Tiziano looks at me like I'm oxygen. I think about the fact that I ran toward danger instead of away from it because leaving him hurt worse than staying. I love you, I breathe. God help me, I love you. His kiss is gentle this time, reverent, a vow. When we break apart, he rests his forehead against mine. Thank you. For what? For being brave enough to choose me. I'm terrified, I admit. Good. He smiles slightly. So am I. We drive through the night, leaving everything familiar behind. And as the city lights fade in the distance, I realize something. I'm not running away. I'm running toward something. Toward a man who's equal parts danger and devotion. Toward a little girl who calls me family. Toward a life that might kill me or might finally make me feel alive. Either way, I'm done playing it safe. 6 weeks later. The safe house is on an island off the coast. Small, isolated, beautiful. White walls and blue shutters. A garden Gia and I planted together. Peace, for the first time in months. Tiziano still takes calls, still manages his business from a distance, but he's here, present. Every morning I wake to find him watching me like he's afraid I'll disappear. Every morning I prove him wrong. Gia thrives here. She swims, explores, laughs in a way she never did in the city. She calls me Mama now when she's tired or scared. The first time she did it, I cried. Tiziano didn't correct her. Tonight, we're sitting on the terrace after Gia's bedtime, watching the sunset paint the ocean gold. Aurelio called, Tiziano says. The threat's been neutralized. I look at him. Meaning? Meaning the man who wanted to use you against me won't be a problem anymore. I don't ask what that means. I don't want to know. So we can go back? I ask. Tiziano turns to me, studies my face. Do you want to? I think about the estate, the guards, the constant awareness of danger. Then I think about Gia's laughter, about waking up to Tiziano's arms around me, about the garden we planted. No, I say. Not yet. He smiles, the real smile, the one I've learned to treasure. Good, because I'm not ready to share you with the world yet. Possessive, I tease. Completely. He pulls me into his lap, and I go willingly. You're mine, Sloane, and I'm yours. That's the deal. What deal? The one where we stay here and build something. You, me, Juliana, a family. My heart swells. You're serious. I've never been more serious about anything. His hand slides to rest against my stomach, warm, protective, hopeful. Marry me. I freeze. What? Marry me, he repeats. Make it real, all of it. Tiziano, that's insane. I know, but when has anything about us been sane? His eyes search mine. Say yes, please. I think about the girl I was 6 months ago, careful, cautious, half alive. I think about the woman I am now, scarred, reckless, wholly present. Yes, I whisper. He kisses me until the world falls away. Later, when we go inside, we find Gia standing at the top of the stairs in her pajamas. I heard everything, she announces. Tiziano sighs. You're supposed to be asleep." "I was, but then you were talking loud." She grins. "So Sloane's going to be my real mama now?" I kneel in front of her. "If that's okay with you." She throws her arms around my neck. "It's very okay." I hold her tight, this fierce little girl who survived loss and fear and still believes in happy endings. When I look up, Tiziano is watching us with an expression I've never seen before. Contentment, peace, home. He mouths, "Thank you." I mouth back, "I love you." And in that moment, I know, whatever comes next, danger, chaos, the weight of his world, we'll face it together. The three of us, a family forged in fire.